A blue whale has about 1,000 times more cells than a human. A common house mouse has 1,000 times fewer. Every time one of those cells divides, there is a tiny, non-zero chance that a mutation will occur, a copying error that could lead to cancer. Based on pure statistics, a whale should be a walking collection of tumors, and a mouse should almost never get the disease. But that isn't what happens. Across species, the incidence of cancer doesn't seem to scale with body size or lifespan. This profound biological puzzle is known as Peto's paradox, and it suggests that nature has evolved some incredible solutions to a fundamental problem of being big. The African elephant is a great place to start looking for answers. They can live for 70 years and weigh over 6,000 kilograms. Yet their cancer mortality rate is less than 5%, compared to over 20% in humans. Their secret appears to lie with a very specific gene, TP53. You have this gene too. It's often called the guardian of the genome. When a cell's DNA gets damaged, the p53 protein acts like a foreman at a construction site, halting everything and assessing the damage. If the damage is repairable, it calls in the repair crew. If it's too severe, it makes a drastic decision. It triggers apoptosis, or programmed cell death. The cell self-destructs for the good of the organism. Here's the difference. You have one copy of this gene. An elephant has 20. Having 20 copies of TP53 doesn't just provide backups. It creates a hypersensitive surveillance network. A human cell might tolerate a certain level of DNA damage before calling it quits, but an elephant cell has a much lower threshold for error. The slightest sign of trouble, and one of those 20 genetic guardians is likely to pull the alarm, eliminating a potential cancer before it can even begin. It's an aggressive, preemptive strategy. But it's not the only way to solve the problem. Deep underground, a tiny wrinkled rodent has evolved a completely different and perhaps even more elegant defense mechanism. Naked mole rats are virtually immune to cancer. For years, scientists couldn't induce tumors in them, even by injecting them with cancer-causing agents. Their secret isn't an aggressive kill switch, but a preventative shield built into the very fabric of their bodies. The space between their cells is filled with a unique substance, a goopy, long-chain molecule called high molecular mass hyaluronan, or HMM. This molecule makes their tissues incredibly elastic, which is useful for squeezing through tight burrows. But it also serves another purpose. It makes their cells extremely sensitive to their surroundings, a phenomenon called early contact inhibition. When cells in a petri dish start to get crowded, they simply stop dividing, long before they would in other mammals. So we have two brilliant solutions: the elephant's hyper-vigilant cellular police force and the naked mole rat's preventative social distancing for cells. Why don't we have them? The answer is likely evolutionary trade-offs. An overly aggressive p53 system, like the elephant's, might be detrimental to us. By killing off cells with even minor damage, it could potentially accelerate aging, exhausting our pools of stem cells needed for tissue repair. And the naked mole rat's gooey matrix might interfere with other processes, like rapid wound healing or the type of tissue plasticity humans need. Evolution doesn't build perfect machines. It finds good enough solutions that balance competing needs. Our vulnerability to cancer may be the price we pay for other traits that allowed our ancestors to thrive. This reframes the entire question. Perhaps the mystery isn't why we get cancer, but how any large, long-lived animal avoids it. Cancer is a fundamental bug in the system of multicellular life. It's a risk embedded in the very act of growing and living. The strategies evolved by elephants and naked mole rats are incredible exceptions, evolutionary hacks that patched this vulnerability. Studying them doesn't just teach us about their biology, it opens a library of genetic solutions that evolution has tested over millions of years. The challenge is figuring out if we can borrow a page from that book without disrupting our own carefully balanced story.
Monotony has grown fast. Nearly 2,700 people have watched in the last few weeks, yet less than 0.03% are subscribed. It would mean a lot if you joined by hitting subscribe. And again, thanks for watching.